Hi, I'm Christine from Yoga Berry, and this is the first part of a 4-part series to help you get started with yoga. I completely understand how difficult it can be sometimes to find time for yourself and to find time for yoga, especially if you've got kids at home. So I want to help you get into yoga and help you develop your own practice, which you can do at home at any time you want to. So in the first couple of parts, we're going to go through some of the basic yoga postures. So let's get started, and we'll come to all fours first of all. And the first posture we're going to do is child's pose. So what we're going to do is bring our knees together, bring our feet together, sit back on the heels, and then just bring your fingertips onto your hip bones here. Lift the chest, lengthen the upper body, and then folding over your thighs. And just have the arms alongside the body and resting the forehead on the floor, just relaxing for a few breaths. And then when you're ready, slowly bringing yourself back up. So child's pose is kind of our recovery position, which we can do at any time if the practice gets a little bit tougher, if it gets a little bit too much, or any time during the day if you're a little bit stressed out, if things are just going a little bit crazy. Child's pose is a fantastic pose just to calm down the nervous system and to get back, reset the body and get back to normal. So that's child's pose. There are a few variations of child's pose, but this is the one that we're using today. So the next pose we're going to do is we're going to come up into all fours from there. So have your wrists directly under the shoulders, the knees directly under the hips. And we're going to do cat-cow pose. So inhale, we're going to lift our chest and looking up, and exhale, rounding through the spine and dropping the head. So again, inhale to lift the chest, draw the shoulder blades down, and exhale, rounding through the spine. So just continue with this with your own breath, just getting used to the movement. So shoulder blades are drawing down, and then exhale to really round through the spine and completely relax the head, no tension in the neck. And again, inhale and exhale, rounding. 2 more times. Inhale, lifting the chest. Exhale to round. And last time, drawing the shoulder blades down, looking up. And exhale, rounding through the whole of the spine. Good. And then we're just coming back to neutral from there. The next pose we're going to do is downward dog, which is one of the postures which you'll find pretty much in every single yoga class. So first of all, bring your attention to your hands. So we're really spreading through the fingertips, using the whole of the hand. So we want to make sure that the weight is not only in the wrists, but you're using the whole of the hands. Tuck the toes under, and then you lift your bottom up towards the ceiling. So just letting the head relax. And it's okay if the knees are slightly bent. You can see that my knees are slightly bent because this is the beginning of the practice. So my hamstrings are not quite warm yet. I'm just taking it very, very slowly, and then slowly start to straighten the legs and dropping the heels down towards the ground. Most importantly, we want the back to be really long and have lots of space. So just breathing here, really long breaths. Lengthening the spine, opening the front of the body, opening the back of the body. And then slowly dropping the knees down. Again, bring the knees together, bring the feet together, and we're going to come back into child's pose. So sitting back on the heels, Again, we can lift and lengthen the upper body and folding over the thighs. Have the arms alongside the body, forehead resting on the floor. Deep breaths. Just releasing the shoulder, releasing the head, releasing the neck. And then when you're ready, slowly bringing yourself up. So the next pose we're going to do is cobra pose. So come to lying on the front, like so. Just making a pillow with the hands first of all, and resting your forehead. Bring the big toes to touch and just letting the heels drop out to the sides. Just taking a few breaths to get used to lying on the ground. Releasing the back, releasing the shoulders. And then when you're ready, slowly bring the hands on either side of the chest and make sure that the elbows are facing backwards, so they're really close to the body like so. We don't want them out to the sides. Draw the shoulder blades down, have a long neck, so we don't look up towards the ceiling like this, and we don't look down. So somewhere in the middle, making sure that the front of the neck and the back of the neck is long, and then using the muscles of the back to slowly lift the chest off the ground. So I can still lift my hands off the floor. So if you're not sure, just try it and see if you can lift your hands off the ground. That means you're using only the back muscles. So keep breathing. And if this is comfortable, you can maybe press into the hands a little bit more to lift up slightly, and then slowly release. Again, making a pillow with the hands. And maybe moving the hips from side to side to release the lower back. Good. We're going to do this one more time because this is a great posture for the back if you're doing this correctly. So hands on either side of the chest. As soon as you feel any pinching in the lower back, then it's time to back off a little bit. So listen to your own body. That's kind of rule number one in yoga. Nobody else can decide for you what's good and what's not. Your body will let you know. So again, bringing the elbows in and then lifting up, lifting the chest. And if this feels okay in the back, then you can press into the hands a little bit more to slowly lift up. So if it's too much, don't worry, it will come over time, just building up strength. And then making a pillow with the hands again. Bend the knees this time and then move the legs from side to side. Good. And again, bring the hands on either side of the chest. This time we're just going to come up to all fours and we're going to go back into child's pose from there. So knees together, you know what to do now. Feet together, lifting the chest, lengthening the upper body over the thighs. So this time have the arms forward, like so, extending the arms, and just releasing the forehead, and see how this changes the stretch. Good, and then when you're ready, slowly bringing yourself up and come back to sitting from there. Good. So the next couple of postures we're going to do lying down on the back. Good. So have the feet flat and then slowly start to roll the spine down towards the ground. Keep the feet flat and just get comfortable. So you might have to wiggle around a little bit to find a good position where you can really release and drop the shoulders Have the palms facing the ceiling. And we'll just take a few deep breaths here to get used to lying on the back. Connecting with your breath. This is what yoga is all about. And then when you're ready, slowly drawing the knees in towards the chest, rocking from side to side a few times to release the back. And then we're going to do a twist from here. You can either extend the arms out to the sides if you've got space. I don't have space, so I need to bend my arms like this, so making cactus arms. So it's up to you. Have the palms facing the ceiling for this one. Draw the knees in towards the chest, and then we're going to drop the knees over to the right. So this is a great stretch for all the little muscles around the spine. You can look over the left shoulder. It's okay if the left shoulder comes off the ground a little bit. Just see if you can release it back down with your exhale. Good, really lovely stretch, especially if you're suffering from backache. This is a really, really good one to do first thing in the morning, for example. Slowly coming back to center now, and then we're going to drop the knees over to the other side, looking over the right shoulder. Coming to your breath, releasing, melting into the ground. Good, and slowly coming back to center. Give yourself a big hug, so wrapping the arms around the knees, rocking from side to side a few times. And then when you're ready, we're going to set ourselves up for Shavasana, for our final relaxation pose, the most important pose of your yoga practice. So slowly start to extend the legs. We'll have the legs about the distance of the mat apart. Have the arms a little bit away from the body with the palms facing up towards the ceiling. And again, just taking a few moments to settle, to get used to this position, and then when you're ready, closing your eyes, taking a few deep breaths and letting the body absorb all the benefits of your yoga practice. Just connecting with your breath, and then just letting any tension melt away, surrendering to the floor, feeling fully supported by the earth, and dropping into the ground. So you can stay here for a few minutes, you can stay here for as long as you like, and then when you're ready to come out of your final relaxation, just start to move the fingers and toes, and then slowly bending the knees one at a time. Draw the knees in towards the chest, and then rolling yourself over to one side and slowly coming back up to sitting. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you back soon for part number 2. Namaste.